So I like to kind of start webinars off with a, kind of a question that kind of frames up some of the things we're talking about. And this question to me is, I think, a compelling question for anybody who owns their own ground. Certainly multi-generational farmers. When's the right time to start to invest in building your soil, the soil that you want to leave your grandkids? I think everybody would say it's an obvious answer to that question. The right time to start investing in your soil is today. But we also got to get through the next year and make sure we have a good profit on the farm, in this season, in addition to planning for the future. And so sometimes, in order to push things for this season, we maybe don't do the things that we want to do to invest long term, because sometimes they are contradictory to each other. Making money today might not mean the best thing for making money 20 years from now or 10 years from now. So we have to do what we got to do to get through the day, and then we'll invest. Well, the great thing about using Holganix microbial technologies are they're really effective the first year you use them at helping reduce inputs, helping improve yield. And the more you use them, the better the soil gets. So we help improve profit per acre year one, but we're also helping you start that journey on investing into soil health today, immediately, in a way that doesn't hurt your profit on your operations this year. In fact, it will help profit this year and help invest in soil long term. So it's really a great product to get started with this journey in soil health, which I'm sure everybody on this call has taken some steps on their own journey to soil health, but this will be one more thing you can do that isn't a long-term payoff. I mean, yeah, you get a long-term payoff, but you also get that short-term payoff. And so we're really excited to get this on as many producers' grounds as we can, because we want to help you improve your profit per acre and your long-term soil health. And that's what we're going to be talking about today with some of these growers on the call. Let's go to the next slide, Ritu. So we keep talking about Holganix, what is this product? So it all revolves around our flagship technology called Bio 800 Plus. So Holganix is the company. We have a portfolio of products, most of which fit under this Bio 800 Plus category. So when we say Bio 800 Plus, what we mean is Holganix is a microbial technology where we use a consortium of over 800 species of bacteria, fungi, amoeba, and protozoa that are all working together in a system approach to drive healthy soil and healthy plants. It's basically a supercharged healthy soil microbiome in a liquid formulation. You go out and spray it on your soil at planting, as close to planting as practical, or post-harvest, depending on which formulation you get, and it will help improve your soil long term. It will help improve germination immediately, help improve nutrient efficiency immediately, and typically we see significant yield improvements as well. So we've got two kind of products that are going to be relevant to the crowd on the call today within this Bio 800 Plus family of products. We've got the spring product, which we simply call Bio 800 Plus Agriculture, and that product is used at planting, as close to planting as practical. And so the 800 species of bacteria, fungi, amoeba, protozoa, they're specifically designed to help improve germination, rooting, and nutrient uptake. So we're going to see typical customers will be able to pull back on NP and K. We're going to see faster germination, better rooting, and all of that's going to turn into a better crop at the end of the year, and all while we're continuing to invest into soil health. Then we have a fall product, which is called our Bio 800 Plus Breakdown. Same species, the 800 species of bacteria, fungi, amoeba, protozoa, but here we've actually manipulated the populations to be heavier on the degraders, the beneficial fungi that help break down plant cellulose, corn stover, and that type of thing, help release the nutrients that are tied up in that corn stover and that plant material. Break it down so that we're going to get a better planting in the spring, less stress on our tillage, maybe not have to till, and continue to invest in that soil health. So nutrient efficiency again, because we're going to be pushing all those nutrients that are tied up in that stover back into the ground, but also planting efficiency for the spring, because we're going to have less residue all over the ground. So they're the two products. We can use them individually. You can just use spring. You can just use fall. You can use them together as a suite of products to continue to drive soil health. The more you use them, the better they're going to get. So we like to see you use them together, but plenty of people use them as independent applications as well. And by the way, you can see these pictures here. You can see the control, which is their standard fertilizer practice, and then the Bio 800, which is simply adding our spring microbial consortium, and you can see the difference in rooting and germination. Is that one of your guys' pictures? Do you guys know?
That's my picture.
That's your picture. Yeah. You want to say something about? Do you remember anything about this?
A little bit. We got a new planter this year, and then I got a new operator in the planter, which is my 19-year-old son. So I started getting calls that we had 48 row missed, skip. All my friends, all my neighbors are driving by, they're laughing. Big old skip in the field. So I went up to look at it, and this is what I found. So everything with the Holganix on was up. You could row it. The stuff where we shut it off to do our test, and I'm only on year 1. It's the first time I used the product. We literally had 48 rows that you couldn't see until about 2 days later you could row it. So
that's cool.
It was really neat. So that's when I started digging these up, and on this one, they were all pretty easy on the 800, the Bio 800. I mean, all the plants were just up, beautiful, even, all the way down. When I picked up the control, I picked the one that was out of the ground the most, is the plant I picked. So there was no cheating here at all involved. It's a real deal. So
that's cool. Love that. Love that picture. I remember getting it in the
spring. A skip, and then all my neighbors got to eat dirt when I said no. It's just because that was our test. So it was pretty cool.
That's awesome. So take us to the next slide then, Ritu. So again, if you look at, there's a lot of microbial technologies out there. I'm sure everybody on this call has used or at least been presented with a microbial technology that claims to help do something on the farm, help your operation one way or the other. So what makes Holganix different than any other microbial? It comes down to our system approach. It comes down to that biodiversity, using those over 800 species of bacteria, fungi, amoeba, and protozoa that are all working together. If you look at any other microbial, I would simply ask you to just ask the rep or just look at the label and say, how many species of microbes do you have? And typically what you're going to see, I mean, when I say typically, I mean all the time, they're going to give you an answer of, well, it's got 2 species of bacteria. Maybe it's a really robust one and it's got 15 species of bacteria. They may even say they have some fungi, and then I would press you to ask them what type of fungi. They will always say it's basically a yeast. The reason they're using the same limited species of bacteria, and the only fungi they ever seem to claim is yeast, is because those things are very easy to stabilize. So virtually every other microbial technology out there is really sourcing from the same limited families of spore-forming bacillus, spore-forming bacteria. And they do that because they're easy to stabilize. And they may do something good for you on the farm, but what they do is going to be very limited, simply because it's only a handful of species. And they're all going to do similar things, if they're effective at all. Bio 800, we're using over 800 species of bacteria, fungi, amoeba, and protozoa. We're not simple, and when we talk about fungi, they're talking about yeast. We're talking about over 200 species of fungi that are going to go out and really drive soil health, plant health, help with this rooting and this uptake, help with phosphorus solubilizing, making potassium more available, nitrogen more available. So we're just doing things that these other microbials can't do because we're taking a totally different approach, and it comes down to biodiversity. And so we believe that helps us, really makes us stand apart from any other technology. We're really doing something different. And so Bio 800 really does stand apart. We're better than anybody else on the planet at stacking, stabilizing, and concentrating this large consortium of microbes. What that means to you is, again, it's improved soil long-term, which helps obviously soil health as farmer wealth, but it also reduces your fertilizer inputs right up front. Typically, we see reductions 10 to 30% in guys are be able to pull back on NP and K. Every operation is different, so we're not going to tell you with a blanket statement, say, hey, just eliminate 30% of your NP and K. That's not appropriate. We want to look at your removal rates. We want to look at what your current program is, and we want to kind of dial that in. But rest assured, we can pull off enough inputs in almost every situation that more than pays for the product right up front. And then giving you better yield over the course of the year. And, in beans, we're seeing 3 to 7 bushel per acre, pretty common, sometimes better than that, but that's pretty common. And in corn, we're seeing, 5 to 9 bushel improvement. Again, sometimes much better than that, but that's a pretty common result. And so that's going to put money back into your pocket. So pay for yourself with the nutrient efficiency, put money in your pocket with the yield, and know that you're investing in your soil health long term. And then if you look at our breakdown product, it's going to help break down that residue and make it easier to plant in the fall, and again, add nutrients back into the soil. Again, here we see side-by-side pictures of standard fertilizer practice, and then adding the Bio 800. Brian, is that one of yours as well?
Yeah, that's one of mine.
You want to tell us what's going on there?
Yeah, I'm going to have Terry talk about this when he's our sales manager.
Okay.
So this is one of his finds.
This customer of ours, year one again, just kind of got to him late. He had all of his fertilizer and everything laid down already, so he didn't really change much in his program, just added the Bio 800. And just better rooting, deeper rooting, much greener, thicker plant. Just all year long saw really good, healthy plants. At the end of the day, he did see some yield increase, different variations in different fields, but really impressed here on this farm. He had another farm that he had cattle manure on that really stood out. That one did really good up behind that red barn that we were at. And, just really impressed with it. Again, just a healthier plant in general.
Cool.
And I will point out, every time we go pull plants, or, the farmer is with us. So we're like, you tell us what plant to pull, just so they can see it, they can pick the plant. And
just so you can see the way the roots are hanging onto the dirt too. And I didn't really understand that when we were first pulling these roots, but Dave kind of explained some of that, Barrett, and you did too, about why that is. So that was kind of cool, that just to know why the roots have that sheath on them that's hanging onto the dirt a little better.
Yeah, and for those of you that are attendees on the call here, you can see those two root balls, and the one you basically just see some roots that are just kind of sitting there naked, and then on the one that has the Bio 800, you can see the soil sticking to the roots. We got a real root, really a soil ball there. There's two reasons that's happening. One is we have a more fibrous root system, so more of those kind of hair-like roots that are coming out that are tying everything together, making it easier to hold that soil together. But also, when roots are in presence of healthy microbiome, healthy microbes, which we're going to add with the Bio 800, they produce almost like a glue that actually helps to create a bio sheath around the soil, around the root, that then makes the soil stick to the root more efficiently, which is going to give that plant a better ability to access what's in that soil. And a physical sign of that is what you see in the back of this pickup here. So good point. Thanks, Terry.